Well, the June 3 air crash of the Dana Airlines in Nigeria has become a reference point for the aviation sector in Nigeria. It has raised serious concerns. Where do we go from here? Like you mentioned, Captain Dele Ore, the president of the Aviation Roundtable, joins me in the studio today to share some perspective. It's great to have you on the show today, sir. And I want to, first of all, get your perspective on where we are right now, the state of affairs in aviation in Nigeria.
Well, I think...
how would you describe it?
I feel so concerned with the operators. They are operating under very difficult conditions. The industry itself could be better, could be safer, but there are several areas of concerns right now in that we have policy, some assault ever so often.
Right.
We are still not solving how the airlines themselves can survive because they form part of a system. And if they can't survive, then it means the system itself cannot survive because we are not thinking of how they can maintain the aeroplanes cheaply, how they will get relief from these excessive taxes they are paying, high running costs, and of course, fuel. It is too expensive. How an airline that is doing genuine business can make profit in this country right now should be a concern to everybody. And of course, that means the industry, not only, it cannot grow, it is dying. Because so many carriers, a few months ago, they are down to only about 3 or 4 now.
Okay, so clearly you paint a very worrying picture there.
Yes.
And of course, when we think about that crash, everybody gets worried about the sector in Nigeria.
Yes.
But before that crash, we did see what many people would call 6 or 7 years of relative success, if you like. There was a slew of crashes sometime 6-7 years ago. We've gone past that, and all of a sudden we saw another crash. Yes. What would you say that the government had done right in that time frame that saw that level of success, if you like?
It was a deliberate effort because we went to the lowest ebb you can talk about. 2005, 2006.
That was the lowest point.
Of course, we got it right, but the government putting the right, very qualified, experienced person to be at the end of the regulatory agency or authority. And from that on, we should be really improving on it, but it could be deceptive in that we passed the ICAO safety audit very, very well. The same thing, we were jubilating, congratulating ourselves with the exploit of the system, passing the FAA Category 1 status, and of course...
And that, of course, opened some opportunities for some airlines.
Well, of course, I would say for one airline. It was not so many.
Well, when you're talking about the local ones,
local one. Yeah. All right. So I think in January, thereabout, Aviation Roundtable recognizing that we have been at least 5.5 years, accident-free of any scheduled airline, which was quite commendable. Other countries do 30 years, but we did that for 5 years.
Considering where we're coming from.
Yes, all right. But we cautioned, Aviation Roundtable cautioned, that we cannot go back to sleep. We need to do a few other things. As of today, we still cannot even certify one airport. And that forms part of the system. We had always said the air traffic control system, that is the airspace management, because we're not crashing into each other every day, doesn't mean that we have attained a safety measure. But people will come out and say, our airspace is the safest in Africa and all that. And I say, we beg to disagree. It is safe, but it could be safer because a few of our members, when they come back, they give report to us directly. And if a guy comes in and says, we cheated death again today, what has happened? We note it and we let the authorities to know that we cannot. We saw it coming because things were... You see, when you pressurize the system, definitely you will lower some margin of safety.
Okay, so looking forward now, unfortunately we had this tragedy. Clearly there have been all kinds of probes, all kinds of looks into what happened, and clearly we expect all several recommendations have been put forward. Your thoughts on where we're going from here, from what you can see from the government?
I think, I believe that, you see, the direction we are going is dictated by who are the players. We are still doing too many things wrongly. I still believe that where are we going? Simply, we are not getting it right, because if you ask that question, are we learning from these accidents? The answer is no. And if we are not learning from these accidents, the airplanes are still flying. It's not going to announce to us to say, tomorrow I'm going to crash. No, it comes suddenly on us. And so we need to be doing certain things. First of all, if you don't find out the reason why an aircraft has crashed, you are not likely not to take action that will prevent a future reoccurrence. We started wrongly by not allowing even the Accident Investigation Bureau to go ahead, finish their investigation, come out with something concrete on which we can take immediate action. Straight away, the Senate was probably, the Ministry of Aviation set up a technical committee to look administrative and all those things, looking into the same aircraft accident.
And really, we should leave that to the Accident Investigation Bureau.
We just confused the issue there. We are chasing after shadow. And if we really want to learn, let the experts, with the aid of NTSB, FAA, Boeing, all the manufacturers, all experts from everywhere. And then when the result is released, actions to take to make sure that we don't have a reoccurrence.
Well,
in the
we
future.
certainly will be watching. We'll definitely be watching the outcome of all these probes. Thank you so much, Captain Dele Ore, for joining us and giving us a perspective on Nigeria's aviation sector.